Guys, so tonight I'm going to show you how I usually do a burrito bowl. Sometimes I make the cilantro lime rice with some lime juice, cilantro, and I'll zest in some lime zest into the rice. But tonight we're just going to do this. It's a pretty good Spanish rice mix. All you really need to do is add 1.5 cups of water, a tablespoon of butter or margarine, and it says a can of diced tomatoes, but I don't like doing that. Instead, I like to put in a little bit of salsa, hot salsa, into the mixture here. And what you do is you just, well, first of all, you do that. And I'm gonna do some extra. You don't have to do this, but I like to put a little bit of cilantro, or you can use fresh cilantro into this for the rice. So I'm gonna put that down and put about 1/4 cup of salsa, 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of salsa in here. I'm just gonna say this is like pretty much like, yeah, about 1/2 cup of salsa that you like. Add in the box. And after you add in the box, you're gonna bring this to a boil. And then once it reaches a full boil, you're gonna turn it down to low and simmer it for 25 minutes and cover it. And that's all you do with the rice part of this. And like I said, I'm gonna add in a little bit of cilantro. I'm going to pick the camera up in a minute. I just suck at doing multiple things at once. But yeah. This is how I like to do it. There we go. I like to start it on medium-high. And get out a little spoon, or a big spoon in my case, whatever. And make sure you get out a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And then I'll come back to the next part of this. But we're gonna cook this rice, and we'll be back. Let's come to a really full boil. What I'm gonna do, we don't have a lid to this anymore, so I'm just gonna put this on top of it. Laugh at me all you want, and pretty much turn it on low. And then we're going to put the timer on for 25 minutes. And the really important thing about this is, do not take this lid off at all. Completely keep this lid on. You're going to keep it on for the whole 25 minutes. And then you're going to turn the fire off and let this rest for about 10 minutes. And then take off the lid and keep fluffing it with a fork, because you want it to dry out a tiny bit. And that's how you're going to get really good rice for your burrito bowls, which I'll show you. And after we do that, we're gonna get to the chicken. We're gonna cut it up and spice it up and fry it, and then throw everything together for our burrito bowl. Another thing I'm gonna do is dry and rinse these pinto beans and get off that extra stuff that we really don't need. It's not really that great for you anyway. So I like to just strain these and do that, and then put them in a bowl. You can also use black beans too if you want. Alright, so what I did over here was I diced up 2 large boneless, skinless breasts. It, for the most part, is defrosted. It still had some firmness. It just makes it easier to cut the chicken. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt on this. And keep in mind, season this to your own tasting. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the exact measurements. But, I mean, if you really want me to, I'd say maybe a teaspoon of salt for this. And maybe like a teaspoon of black pepper. But I just like to just put on the seasonings like this. Okay, you got your black pepper. And then some garlic powder on there. And garlic powder, I don't know, maybe 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, depending on how much you like garlic. Then I like to add a little bit of chili powder to it. I can do this with one hand. Okay. Then add in a little paprika. But I like it to be really seasoned though when I make this chicken. Usually I'll marinate this chicken in chipotle and adobo, but I don't have any of that, so I'm just working with what I have. If you can go to Walmart, get the Chipotle and adobo sauce. It's really good. And, of course, the main ingredient, main flavor is the cumin here. So we're going to take our cumin and just put it all over the chicken. And sometimes you really gotta shake it. But cumin, and I like to add a little bit of cayenne to this. And then what I'll do is put this all in a bowl with like maybe a tablespoon or two of oil and mix it all together. And that way when it's in a skillet, it's all ready to go for you. That's what the chicken kind of looks like when it's all mixed together. Sometimes I like to put lime juice in here. I don't have any, but you can definitely put that in there. Now this is what the rice looks like when it's done, and you want it to be a little bit more on the dry side, so this is perfect. I just keep stirring it around with a big spoon on and off, like maybe every 10 minutes, and you got it. And then we're going to cook the chicken, and then just plate up our burrito bowl. Okay, for your chicken, you want to make sure it's on like a medium high. Now if you want your chicken on more of the crispy side, like a sear, just keep it on high. Only flip it every now and then. But if you want it really tender, flip it around so it's all white, then put a lid on it for about maybe 6 minutes or something like that. 6 to 7 minutes once it turns white. And then it'll be done. But basically, you know, just cook it until it's done. And then we'll go to the last step. Okay, we have everything we need now. So I'm going to start making the bowl. I'm going to put some rice in here. Put about 2 scoops of it in here. So it might be a little bit on the big side, but that's okay. We got our rice down in here. And then what we're going to do is put some beans in. Some pinto beans. You can use black beans if you want. But I like beans and rice together. Just add in as much as you want.